Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the Bros Talking Soccer. We're all mixed up this time if you're watching on YouTube. So Dave's on this side, Matt's
Hello.
on that side.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, everybody. Okay, good. Everyone got their hellos out. I didn't even have to ask. This is nice. I'm going to be hosting today. Everybody's in their blanket. Everyone's recovering today. It's a Sunday. It's not been the best start to the day for everybody. So I feel like I'm probably the highest energy, so we put me in charge. I'm going to be the voice of this podcast, so I know everyone's going to be a little bit more excited than usual. Right, Dave?
Yep, I'm going to be bringing the energy.
He's going bring.
Ramping things up. I was at a bachelor party this weekend, and last night was rough.
Yeah?
But, I'm pushing through. I'm recovering, but I'm excited that you're hosting because I don't know if I could bring it.
Yeah, I believe it.
You look good.
Yeah, I'm tired. I cut my eye.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, cut my cornea. Left cornea abrasion.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I have
If you want to
to
get technical.
I have to put some like cream in my eye.
Let's save this for the podcast,
Yes.
guys. We can do that. All right.
I'm one
So
of the YouTube people now.
Yeah, you two people. So
Yeah.
if you're here, do you want to say hello? If you're with us live,
please do.
interact
We're gonna be
with us here.
we're gonna be looking at the comments and everything. So
Are you the one viewer?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's always
Right
going to say at least one.
Yeah, it always says one.
Okay.
at least we're never alone.
We'll never walk alone.
See
what we did there?
Podcast alone either.
Yeah.
It's nice. Okay.
Oh, we got
So you guys ready?
got a new viewer.
Yeah.
Ready to hop right in?
Yeah, Matt, are you going to be half on, half off this entire time?
I felt am I in?
You can see it. So if you can't see you, then people can't see you.
Well, it's one eye
So
doesn't
what-
work.
Yeah,
so-
you can keep your one eye off the screen if you'd like. All right,
There you go. That's
sorry,
perfect
back-
right
and,
there.
And we lost the viewer.
Yeah, that was a quick clip.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's hop right in. Hey everybody, welcome. This is Bros Talking Soccer, episode number 87. Can you believe it, guys?
No.
No, can't believe it. It's
No.
kind of crazy. I'm going to be hosting today. I'm Christian. I'm here with my brother Dave. Dave, say hello.
Hello.
Matt, say hello.
Hello.
Dave, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I was at a bachelor party this weekend. Last night was particularly rough. Forgot to eat pretty much all of yesterday, and that caught up to me very quickly. It came on quick, and I went to bed pretty early last night. But that's why you're hosting. I'm trying to push through. I'm going to be bringing the energy, but Christian's definitely higher energy right now. So doing okay, Chris.
What else is new? All right, so Matt, how about you? How you doing?
Doing good. I was about to say Dave, so you should just say I'm doing good, Dave. I cut my eye this week, so my eye hurts. Got a left eye abrasion. I'm a little tired. I'm excited about the city. Played well today, so that was nice. And all three of us got our blankets on. If you're watching on YouTube, just some bros wearing blankets.
Bros wearing blankets. Yep.
Yeah, Mom made two of them. The one Matt's wearing, the one I'm wearing, and Dave has our grandmother's blanket, I believe, that used to be at their house. So
Yeah.
if you were wondering, there's a little background. All right. So, all right. So this whole podcast is pretty much going to be Christian's Corner because I was the only one prepared for once this week. It's pretty crazy. And I'm going to actually ask myself if I have a trivia question this week. And oh my God, I do, Christian. Thanks for asking. So trivia question this week is, how many minutes did it take Harry Kane to score his first goal for Tottenham in August?
Okay. So how many
Minutes
career
that he
minutes
played in August
Okay.
did it take for him
All right.
to score?
We'll think it over. Matt, I think probably already knows the
No.
answer because he's got a
No,
slide smile.
no. The thing that just popped in my head was 425,000. That's like the only thing I was thinking of.
If you didn't know, we quote The Office a lot, both in the podcast and on Twitter. So, yeah. All right. You guys ready to dive into some topics here?
Yeah. Do we want to plug stadium scene before we get to the topics?
Do you want to go ahead and do it?
You don't want to?
I've never done it before, but I can give it a shot.
let's go.
All right. So we have a partner, StadiumScene.tv. They are a content provider. And what else do they do, Dave?
So they are a travel blog as well. So if you're going to any stadium in the U.S.,
Mhm.
you should go check them out. They have reviews and recommendations on where to park, what bars and restaurants to visit, and all of that. But they also partner with content creators like us, right, Christian?
Just like us. Except not just like us, because we're all individuals. Matt, anything else you want to add on Stadium Scene? No? All right,
No.
just wondering. All right.
Okay, and so they've just added a couple new podcasts or content specifically in soccer. I think the Fields of Anfield Road and Route 1, I think, are two of the new ones. So yeah, go check them out. They got lots of stuff. It's not just soccer specific; it's any sport. But we're on there, and so support us, support them. We'd really appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, absolutely, we would.
That was a great read.
Yeah, thanks. You did a good job, Dave. Yeah. I kicked us off, but I let you take it from there. So everybody, welcome to Christian's Corner. This is the 5th installment, and as a special added bonus, it is the whole podcast today. So that's just going to be really, really fun. All right, so first topic we're going to discuss here. La Liga has just announced that matches will be played in the United States and Canada. I think it said at least one a year. I'm not sure if it was only one a year. Was it starting in 2020? I think it said. I believe.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a really unique thing. It's going to really be a huge branding and just growth in soccer.
So is it only one match, or is every team?
I saw like 15, I want to say, are planned to be in America, but I could be wrong.
What?
Like 15 matches, like for the whole year or something like that.
Oh, okay. I didn't read anything again because I've been away.
Did I hear that wrong?
So,
maybe. Wait, now I'm confused. Did I read it wrong? Because I don't think that's what I thought it was.
Okay. Well, while we're looking up some of the facts about this, because we're extremely prepared. This is an interesting thing. I think FIFA has banned this. So they're not technically allowed to do this based on the rules of FIFA. Domestic matches can't take place outside of the country. So they must have gotten like a special waiver or something like that. Do either of you have any sort of background on that? You're looking at me with blank looks, so I'm going to go with you don't know. I think it's an interesting opportunity. I could see it on your face, though. I think it's an interesting opportunity, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I understand what they're trying to do.
The NFL goes over there. Why wouldn't they come here?
Because the NFL is different, right? There is no NFL over there, right? There is no. They know they used to have NFL Europe, and there might be some lower leagues, but like at the end of the day, we have MLS, we have professional soccer here.
Okay, well, no, they have basketball, and we just started recently going over there for basketball.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily like that. I mean, I also don't even really like it for football because
there's so many fans that are huge fans of the best in the world, and you get to see them live here in an actual competitive game. That's awesome.
I mean, do that.
Yeah, it's awesome, but I mean, it's awesome for the fans. But it
also gives them a reason to come on a trip to come to the United States, to go to Canada. It's the same thing. Like when the Eagles are going over there, I want to go to England because I want to see them there.
So you're saying fans would come?
Yeah, to
see America. Possibly. I just don't think. Matt, sorry, you can go ahead. I've been talking a
lot. I don't love the idea. I especially because like I'm not sure like one team's gonna lose a home game, an extra home game, which it's especially soccer where home field means so much. It's gonna be it's gonna be frustrating for the teams that are losing home games, and just from like a fan perspective, it's just. I guess to like just spread the brand to America to get more fans, but like we have enough trouble trying to get support for our own teams, so I don't love the idea.
Yeah, and so I don't love it from that perspective either. I think there's enough soccer and people interested to go around, so it's not the worst thing that they're coming over here from that perspective.
And especially competitive, like we have the International Champions Cup in the summer where like you get to see those teams, and I know it's not competitive, but I mean,
but I also think getting to like competitive and competition's sake of the actual league. So La Liga, traveling to another country and dealing with all of that, the load on your body, working it into your schedule, all of that. I mean, whenever that match happens, it's completely different. So if not everybody's doing, like if they made every team go and do it, I would be more okay with it rather than just one team. If it's only, or even if it's not one team, if it's like half the teams, or if it's equitable, I can understand it. The great thing about European soccer is you play everybody once home, once away. It's a very balanced schedule. The time zones aren't too crazy, other than the Russian Premier League, where the time changes is pretty drastic. But this is just changing things too much for me to really get on board with. Christian, I know you've been quiet for a while now.
Yeah, I just want to I just keep coming back to the NFL. I understand that you're saying it's different, but you play teams home and away in your own division for that, and then they put one of the other games. And I understand it's a different setup, but yeah, one team loses a home game and one team loses an away game. Pretty much, that's how it's set up in the NFL. When you go away to England, is where they've been playing their games in Wembley. I don't really have an issue with that at all. I think it's growing the brand of football in Europe and just worldwide because it gives you another reason to watch. It's bringing in a new crowd. And I think popularity in soccer in the US is growing, and this is just going to help it. I think that bringing teams over that have that quality in this type of environment is really important for us to grow our own brand and just kind of, I know we're seeing a different market, but it's the same sport, and you're seeing it how it can be played a different way by not. I mean, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. A better team, like there are better teams over there. So I think it's really important to see.
Well, yeah. I mean, like Barcelona is better, but I mean, you could argue that like Huesca or whatever that new team being promoted with 5,000 people. I don't know how well they play. We had this discussion recently about. If Atlanta United was in the Premier League. I mean, it's a similar discussion. Yes, if you're bringing over Barcelona, Sevilla, Real Madrid, obviously, Atletico, any of the teams kind of towards the top, Valencia of the table, yes, they are better. But the lower teams, I don't know if it is necessarily better quality. But I agree with what you're saying. Anything to get people out to watch soccer and maybe get them more interested in the sport, I could be on board with. And so I think it might be good for America. I just don't like it from the aspect of La Liga, and it's cheapening their competition in my eyes.
Why is it cheapening their competition? It's not
for the
changing.
Reasons. Yes, for the reasons I laid out. They're two teams are going to have to fly God knows how many thousands of miles, time zone changes, fit it into a condensed schedule where they already have midweek competitions and all of that. I mean, there's a lot of things at play that two teams are going to have to deal with if this is in fact just one match, or a couple of teams are going to have to deal with versus some other teams that aren't going to have to deal with it. Now, if every single team had to play a match in another country or, in North America, I could get more on board with it. But if it's just this one-off situation, I don't necessarily like it.
No. And especially because if there's different, an odd number of teams and odd number of games played in different countries, like soccer where there's only 38 games, I think it means a little bit more than, basketball and there's 82 games. Each game means a little bit less than the one before. And that's why I especially don't like it for football in like a 16-game season. Like it has a big impact on, the team's record, not getting that home game. So I think, in soccer and football, I don't like the idea at all, especially because, you're losing a home game.
Yeah. And just so you know, it's a 15-year deal.
15. I heard.
Yeah.
I
think it's one game
15.
a year. Yeah.
Okay.
You got the 15.
Yeah. Because I kept saying 15 years and I was just making sure it's going to be one game every year.
Okay.
Okay.
So there is.
So I don't like
so
that.
it is 15 games.
Technically, he was right.
Correct.
Not
But you
15
said
games a year.
And I know that I'm just going to throw in a sidebar here. The Premier League also have been playing with this idea, but they were talking about doing a 39th game. That I'm definitely not on board for. I don't know about you guys.
No, yeah.
What would it be like?
Every team would have one extra
Yeah,
game.
but who? Just random, or would it be like
every single team?
Would it be like, hey, let's just play against your rival for the last game, or would it just be like?
It would just be random.
Yeah.
It'd be like they're doing another match day.
I could get on board for like a rival game. You play your rivals. Like Manchester teams play each other 3 times a year. Everton and Liverpool play
Spurs,
3 times
Arsenal.
a year. I think that would be cool. I mean, like if it was going to be implemented, I don't think I would.
But not every team has a rival, so how are they going to do the rest of them?
Well,
you guys don't get to play. Sorry.
They get to play West Brom.
Yeah. Wolves is actually big rivals with West Brom. Yeah,
like
Matt is also a big
out
rival
the,
with West Brom.
The Soccer Tavern video for information on rivalries.
Yeah.
Little selfless plug.
There you go. Selfless.
Not selfless.
Shellfish.
Shellfish. Thank you.
Shellfish.
Shellfish.
Wow. Dave's having
She
a rough
sells,
morning.
She sells by the seashore.
Yep. No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Anything else you have to add on the La Liga topic here, guys?
I think.
All right, let's move along here. So Lukaku, I don't know if you read what he said about Euro 2020, but he said that'll probably be his last performance for Belgium. That's a little bit weird that he's already going to retire. He's only 25 years old right now, and he will be 27 at the time. Obviously, that's 2 years, just in case you wanted to know.
That's how math works.
And that is way too young. That's really when you're in your prime as a player. So, Matt, what do you think about him saying this?
I'm somewhat fine with it because, it's his decision, and international play, it takes a toll on your body. You get less time off. I know he probably doesn't want to be battling injuries. So I get it from that perspective. But with a team like Belgium that's so talented, they can have, an extended period of success where he could, be their starting striker and he's, an important role in that team. So I think it's, as a soccer fan, I don't like his decision, but, I understand it.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, he's been a pro, I think, since he was 15. And so, yeah, he's still only 25, but I mean, that's 10 years. And he's very big, physical, and people are physical with him. He's already Belgium's all-time leading goal scorer. I think he already he's got a ton of caps. So, yes, he's still young and he could, go on to play probably in another World Cup. But I understand it if he's prolonging his playing career by doing it. I know there have been a lot of players that have made sort of controversial decisions to retire from the national team to prolong their club career. And so I understand where he's coming from. Again, Matt hit it spot on, where as a soccer fan, you want to see him keep playing because he is talented and you'd like to see what he could accomplish, but you understand where he's coming from, from that perspective for me.
Okay, good. I'm sorry, I was just reading to make sure I didn't miss any quotes in this one because of the last one. Yeah, he's kind of saying he wants to focus his time on Manchester United. But in the current climate, I feel like I'd be wanting to focus more on Belgium, to be completely honest. They made it to the semifinals of the World Cup. That's a huge feat. They got really close, lost to the eventual champions. That's really, I'm shocked that he wants to call quits now. I know he said that Belgium's target should be at least the semifinals in every tournament they go to for the foreseeable future. But I think he's a key part of that. The way he played with them, he was a focal point and was huge, especially in the group stage. And then he was a hold-up player in the knockout stage. So he was fun to watch. Him not specifically, but Hazard, De Bruyne, there's so many talented players on that Belgium team. But I don't even think you can knock any of them out because the team changes pretty drastically by losing any of those guys.
Yeah, I think Batshuayi is a solid replacement for Lukaku.
I don't think he's
Lukaku, I think he played
though.
real. I think they're different, but I think Batshuayi plays pretty well with the Belgian team. And I think he had a good World Cup. I mean, he played well when he went to Dortmund. I know he struggled at Chelsea, but Lukaku
did he play well? Do you remember that game when he came on and missed 18 chances?
Yeah, then he scored once or twice in that game too.
Yeah, but he did miss a bunch.
Hey, you got to be there. You got to get those opportunities.
I mean, Divock Origi's still only 22 years old. So, I mean, he was at the last World Cup as a youngster and kind of broke through then. He's kind of fallen off a little bit, but you never know. He could rebound. He's still very, very young. And they have a core group of guys coming through. So I understand, they can replace him, but I still think he's light years better than any other one they have in the pool right now. Benteke's another one who we really haven't talked about, but I mean, he could go in there as well.
Yeah. I mean, they have players that could replace him, but they're not at the same quality. So
absolutely,
yeah, he's definitely the best option.
Exactly.
Dave, do you have any thoughts on what he would do if he retires? What is the purpose of that?
So the purpose is for him to prolong his playing career, right? His club career, right? So international, you are traveling.
Do you think he's getting pressure from Manchester United to do that, or do you think it's just his?
Yeah, but actually, Pogba made that comment too.
Yeah,
thinking about it.
I want to say Giggs, somebody else made a similar decision from Manchester United, back in the day. I know Sir Alex was not a fan of international play. He strongly encouraged players, not to go to internationals as much as he's allowed to do all of that. So there could be something going on behind the scenes there. But at the end of the day, there is a decision, a sound logic behind that. They're putting miles on their body from a travel perspective and from a physical, extra matches played. You're more likely to get hurt and all of that. So there isn't a logic behind all of it. Yeah.
So, all right, Matt, if you were in that position, do you think you would want to walk away from the international stage, like especially when you're playing for a team
and
like that?
I don't know what like the climate is with Belgian, like the Belgian citizens and their national team and the support and everything like that, how they're like perceived in the media. But like for me, Lukaku's pretty much accomplished more or as much as any Belgian player in history. So I mean, I think he has the right to call it quits whenever.
Yeah. What are you smiling at?
You,
What?
you're yawning.
Oh,
you
yeah.
like disappeared.
I'm a little tired. But yeah, no, I mean, Matt, that's right. Like I already said, I mean, he's already their all-time leading goal scorer. I mean, he plays at Manchester United.
That was the furthest they've gone in a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Ever,
Yes.
right? Or
Yeah,
no?
they came
made
in
the
fourth.
semifinals.
Yeah, they came
before.
in fourth, but they came in third this
Yeah,
time.
so
So
this was their best ever tournament. So it's weird that he would say it. Like the timing of it just seems a little bit bizarre.
I mean, Pogba during the World Cup said this might be my last World Cup.
I mean, he won the World Cup. I mean, so like, yes, we want to hype up there's glory and there's fame that comes along with the World Cup, but at the end of the day, these guys are professionals and they get paid. They make most of their money at club level. If you can prolong your club career, you're going to make, especially at that level, millions more dollars than, at the national team where it's still, they get paid, but the money is not nearly as much as it was at the club level. So you understand it from that perspective too, or I do.
Anything else you have to add, Matt?
Nah.
Dave?
Nope.
All right, so let's wrap up this section here with one more topic. It's going to be Diego Costa's antics with Sergio Ramos during that, was it Supercopa?
Yeah.
Like a Supercopa de España? Ooh,
No.
No, but I mean, that might be
Isn't
what it's
that
called.
what it's called?
No, that's the UEFA one.
The one that was on this past
thought
week.
it's-
No, the one that was this past week was the UEFA one. It's
Oh,
just they were both-
true.
yeah.
Because
Barcelona won the league, so that doesn't make any sense.
So
I'm just a moron. So
we'll explain to people what this is.
Okay, so this is the Champions League winner from last season plays the Europa League winner from last season. Funnily enough, they are both in the same city and they're eternal rivals, so it's very fun to watch when that happens. But yeah, so Atletico Madrid was playing against Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid ended up winning that game 4-2 in extra time. It was a really, really fun game to watch. I was at work, so I wasn't fully focused on it, but I mean, I wasn't watching it at work. But I was following along what was happening. I really wasn't watching it at work, I swear. I came home and in extra time, I saw that it was still tied 2-2, and then Atletico Madrid scored 2 goals in extra time. So that was a really fun game to watch. But Diego Costa was having a fantastic game, scored both goals in regulation time.
He was peak Diego Costa.
Yeah. Speaking of peak Diego Costa, he kicked Sergio Ramos in the head. So that was a real fun thing to watch. I think Sergio Ramos deserves to be kicked in the head a little bit for what he's done over the past couple months. Did you see what this play?
I actually did happen to see this one. I don't know. I saw it on a replay because I wasn't watching live. We were watching.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Sorry. Like they said earlier, it's peak Diego Costa. And he might play better for some reason. Like when he's out there just like hitting people and gets the freedom to just be himself. With 2 goals, he scored that incredible goal in the second minute.
I think
First minute.
Yeah, I think it was the first minute.
Yeah, so
I'm back.
yeah, and just like him playing, with Atletico Madrid and like their physicality, I think he's just gonna make him thrive. And he got a good kick to Sergio Ramos' head, which I'm sure he's happy about.
Yeah, I mean, he was just being himself. I mean, when he's agitating defenders and being physical, I think when he's able to do that, he elevates his game. And so, this was the play where he knocks Ramos down.
Yes.
And like as he was stepping over him, he accidentally kind of got him right. Yeah, he's very good at those kind of like, oops, I didn't mean to. Like, hasn't he? He didn't get a red card, I don't think.
I think he got a yellow card.
No. At his time at Chelsea, right? Like he's really special in the way that he can agitate players.
I don't think he got a red card, but he was suspended like after games.
But I mean, yeah. So I guess that does hurt the team, but like he also really just unsettles defenders, and this is just him continuing to do it. Okay. I was trying to earlier. Before I choked, we were watching Bachelor in Paradise, so that's why we missed the start of the Europa Super Cup or whatever the hell it was. So, but we saw replays, and then we watched the end of the match. So that's what was going on in the Knittel household.
Not all the Knittles were watching that.
Christian would have.
I would not have.
Yeah, you would love it.
I would definitely not have watched
love it.
Okay. All right. So anything else you have to add on that game? Or this?
No, I mean, I don't think like when we were watching, Atletico Madrid, when they went up, they were like showing the fans, and there was like fans in tears.
Yeah,
which was like, is this a preseason match, or like, how do you guys view this game? Because
no,
like,
they
why
view
are
this as
fans-
a trophy, especially for Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid. That's like a huge deal.
I guess, but it was a bit much watching that guy cry. Yeah, it was just like,
Maybe
the
they just
prestige
realized
level.
Actually we are just as good as them now.
Yeah, maybe. I think I have Atletico winning La Liga this year. I really like their team. Bringing in Lamar, I think Barcelona's going to take a step back, and Real just wasn't that great. So, that's my 2 cents there.
All right. What do you think, Matt? What do you think? Who's going to win La Liga this year?
I think Barcelona is the favorite, but I think Atletico Madrid's the second best team.
I really don't think Real Madrid look that good. I think they're going to clearly fall off this year, and I think Barcelona is going to still win the league. They just how did anyone beat them?
Well, Atletico has shown that they can beat them in the past, and
I mean they've won one La Liga in forever.
I know, but this is arguably their strongest side ever, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. They kept Griezmann. They signed Lamar. They signed. No, they didn't sign Versalco. They let Versalco go, but they signed Costa. I mean, I know they signed him last year, but he's getting more into things. I just like what they're building. So
okay,
yeah.
Yeah, I think they are the second best team. I just don't think that they're gonna.
I think they're stronger than Barcelona defensively.
Yeah,
I don't know if I agree with that.
Is PK still starting for Barca?
Yeah,
I just think he's on a decline.
I mean, he is, but they brought in Leggett from Sevilla, who's a very, very good center back, and they have Umtiti, who, I mean, he punched the ball out of the air during the World Cup, just like PK did, which is just really bizarre. Yeah. But Jordi Alba is one of the best defenders in the world, well, outside backs in the world, and Semedo on the other side is very good. Sergio Roberto. I just think that, I mean, this is going way off of what our topic was now. Sorry, but yeah, I just still think that they're the best team.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up this section. Sorry about that little tangent we took, but I hope you got some extra content out of that, and it's going to be really, really enjoyable. Listen to this music, and then come back and join us for the second segment.
All right. Good job, Christian. It's good stuff.
Check YouTube comments.
Yeah, I check. Diego Costa being that's great stuff. Route 1. Diego Costa. Route 1? Route 1? Whatever.
Route?
I say route.
What did I say?
Route.
Can you say? I think you could say
either though, because
how would you like us to pronounce it? If you're still here watching,
yes,
I mean, it's maybe the same.
We have 3 watching now.
So. No. But
how can you
route? So route, if you spell it ROOT or route ROWT, just like phonetically spell it how you'd like, how you pronounce it.
Like some of my teachers like, how do you spell GIF? And it was like GIF or GIF. Like, how do you pronounce GIF? GIF or GIF?
It's that root.
So is that what I said or not?
Route.
Okay, so route. Okay, I'm saying route, right?
Yes.
Okay, so route. This is a miracle situation all
over.
Oh
God.
By the way, what were we just watching? Somebody said miracle.
I know Canadians and cars getting called.
Yeah, somebody said miracle and pronounced
That's not right.
I swear to God.
Larry David.
Oh, yeah, it was Larry David.
That's not correct, though. It doesn't matter.
I believe Larry David. He is a writer.
So you can pronounce it either way.
He's a professional writer.
Yes. And actor. All right, so that's good to know. Route 1, I had to think about that. We gave you a shout out earlier. I don't know if you were here, but welcome to the Stadium Scene family. Just wanted to throw that out there. Christian, you ready to get back into things?
I am so ready, Dave.
Okay, where are we? There we are.
Ready?
I couldn't be more ready.
Matthew?
Yeah, go on.
Let's do it. Go on.
Go on, son.
Welcome back to Christian's Corner, part 2. This is really going to be a good one here. We got...
Your welcome backs are always hilarious. I love it.
All right, so that was Dave talking.
Sorry.
Matt's still here, and we got all of us still ready to talk about some more topics here. So these two are going to focus a little bit more on Serie A here, so hopefully you like that. It's a little different. We don't really focus on them much, so Here we go.
All
And
right.
we're going to learn why we don't focus on them much because all they do is complain. So here we go. First one, Inter Milan is going to sue the La Liga president, Tobias. Yeah.
Yunke?
Does he always wear jean shorts?
Yeah, he might.
Never knew.
He might. Never. Yeah, over what happened with Luka Modric. Did you guys see this at all?
Well,
Either
yeah.
of you?
Well, yes, you read it to us earlier.
I did read it to you,
Well,
but have
Matt,
you heard
I'm sure
anything
was
about
not paying attention. Matt, why don't you fill us in on what happened?
So the Inter Milan is planning to sue. You guys take this over.
Yeah. So with this, Christian.
Yeah. All right. So what happened was the sorry, wow, I just got really lost in my own thought right there.
Do you need me to talk or no? You good?
No, I was just going to pull up because I don't know the actual names, but the president of La Liga, Tobias, said Inter Milan don't have that much money, and there's no way they could ever afford Modric, and they don't know how they're buying all the players they have. And so Inter Milan took that very personally. It really hurt their feelings. And so now they're coming back after him saying, you can't make these comments. We're going to sue you over what you're saying. Because he kind of suggested they were hiding money somewhere or they're getting money out of anywhere. And they said they have tricks that they've been playing in the market. What do you think about him saying that? We'll go to Matt first. Matt, you go ahead.
Well, I mean, every team is basically, and who is the La Liga president to say something about another league? You know,
I think
I think
he's
because they're buying.
he's a little
their
butthurt.
players.
yeah,
I think
it's
that's
like
what
La
happened.
Liga. Is every team gotten in trouble for their transfer spending in that league? So it's
Well, I mean, he even in the article is saying like not just PSG and Juventus because they took Neymar and Ronaldo. They're taking star players out of their league, and so he's just upset about that.
yeah, I know. I mean, I get that, but I mean, La Liga takes star players from literally every league. I mean, like
Yeah, it happens
Suarez,
everywhere.
I mean, yeah, Ronaldo from United, Suarez from Liverpool. Like those were two of the biggest stars at the time, especially Ronaldo. But I mean, I don't know the exact financial situation of Inter Milan. They're a huge club, and I'm sure they're doing well financially. But they did go on a pretty absurd spending spree this summer. I mean, you don't always just go to assume they're doing things illegally, but especially if you're the president of a league and just saying that in the media. But I understand if he's a little upset about it.
Yeah, and I mean, they are back in Champions League for the first time in a while, so that they could be counting on that money coming in. I know with financial fair play, I think it's like over a 3-year period, you have to have your books aligned. So they could be making a decision to go into the red this year, counting on the fact they're going to do better in Serie A, maybe go into the Champions League. And so again, it might be a business decision that they're overspending. Yes, it looks a little bit odd because of where they've been over the past few years, but knowing that, I think they might have new owners, or maybe they just have more solid owners than in the past. Maybe all of those factors going into it is why they're spending the way that they are. And I don't think you understand why the president of La Liga said this, but I don't think it was smart, and it comes off looking petty of him.
Oh, it absolutely looks petty of him. I think he's just really upset at the fact that they are losing their star players. And honestly, their it factor is going away in La Liga. They have been the pinnacle of play for the last couple of years. I mean, just look at the Champions League. They've won the last 5, I think.
Yeah,
the La Liga
that,
teams. And that is ridiculous. I don't think we've ever seen a stretch like that before where one country
and even
is
the
dominating.
other teams in the, I think Atletico Madrid was in the final 2 or 3 of those times.
Well, in the Europa League as well, Sevilla went on.
Sevilla won 3 in a row.
Atletico won last year. I mean, they've had a run. I know United won the year before, but I mean, they've had a run. They
really are dominating Europe. And I was looking at the coefficient, and their coefficient is ridiculously significantly higher than anyone else's. And I mean, I'm not surprised at all, to be completely honest, because of how dominant they've been in the Champions League and the Europa League. But yeah, I think that he's just kind of scared that they're losing their power, and that could affect the overall quality of the league and their viewership.
Okay, but what is Inter gaining from this lawsuit? What did they do that's like
I think it's
illegal.
like over in Europe, the defamation and
Mhm.
what's the other word? I can't think of the like libel and whatever legal terms. I was with a bunch of lawyers this weekend.
Yeah,
They
it
would be
sounds like
laughing
it.
at me.
They probably are.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure they're tuned in. They, God damn it, what the hell was it? Oh, you can sue people like more easily for if you say something in
Like
the media.
defamation of
Yeah,
character.
exactly. And so I think that's probably what they're going for, like to prevent him or anyone else from doing this again. I think that's probably where it's coming
Yeah,
from.
I don't really think it's about the money.
Yeah,
It's more
It's
about
about the principle.
yeah.
And real quick, so if anyone who doesn't know what the coefficient is, just real quick, there's a mathematical calculation that basically ranks every league in Europe. I don't know if they do it elsewhere as well, but
each team has their own coefficient.
yeah, each team has their own coefficient, and then the league coefficient is a accumulation of all of those. But it's basically how teams perform in Europe. I don't think it's domestically.
Nope.
So it's in Europe, and the higher your coefficient, basically, the better quality of your league is generally how that's interpreted. And so Spain, La Liga is by far the highest coefficient right now.
Yeah, and just fun fact: Inter Milan are actually in pot 4 of the Champions League draw, which is just ridiculous for a team of that size, just because they haven't been in the Champions League in so long, which is crazy for how good they were for so long. What, they won 5 straight Serie A titles?
When is the draw?
Next Friday.
Because
not this upcoming Friday, the Friday after, because they still are going through qualifying right now.
Yeah, it's end of August, because that impacts
30th,
my trip
I
to
believe.
England next month.
30th, 31st, whatever that Friday.
I want to be in
31st.
Liverpool when they have a Champions League game. And so they could either play Tuesday or
I thought
Wednesday.
your trip was dependent on the draw.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it kind of is. It depends on what we're going to do
when
on
they're there,
Tuesday or Wednesday.
yeah.
I thought you meant like the actual drawing of, like, you want to watch that.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. So, sorry, Christian, back to you. Back to whatever the hell we're talking about. Inter Milan, yes.
Yeah. All right. So, do you guys have anything else to add on this topic?
No, not really.
No, you're good. All right. So, wrapping up this last topic here is the Napoli president.
Nice pronunciation.
Why?
Napoli.
Is that not right?
No.
Okay.
Napoli. Some people say
Napoli.
Napoli's.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just sound very smart. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
I am very smart.
Yeah.
I'm not very smart. So the president of Napoli was claiming that Roma and Liverpool have the same ownership group and it's being hidden behind the scenes. This is ridiculous. Like, this just blows my mind that he's just really that skeptical. This all started because Alisson, who joined Liverpool this summer, he's the goalkeeper who was on Roma, joins Liverpool. Napoli's owner is saying, we offered them way more money and he wouldn't come to us, but then he was sold to Liverpool. First of all, they're competition in the same league, so I wouldn't want to sell to someone in my own league either. Second, where is he coming up with this? Is he just speculating? I know they're both American owners, so it's a little, I mean, I guess he just doesn't really know how that works. I mean, it's very basic business.
I'm actually in cahoots with every other American.
But I think both of the ownership groups are based out of Boston as well. Exactly. Is why he's thinking that. But no, like, just because they are from the same place, they may know each other, but it doesn't mean they're the same ownership group. So he's saying Liverpool should be banned from the Champions League and should be reprimanded because I guess, like, Red Bull owns multiple teams. Only one can be in the Champions League at a time.
No.
What?
No.
Like, that is how it works.
That is how it works, but Red Bull gets around it. So RB Leipzig and RB Salzburg are technically both owned by Red Bull, but they do stuff like creatively behind the scenes where, like, they don't have enough ownership, so like it's okay. So, like, there are ways around it for Red Bull specifically. But getting to this topic, yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. Yeah. This is absurd. We got to start following Serie A more because, like, they are just out of their mind. We had Critty on a couple weeks ago, and he was filling us in on just the season was starting in a week, and they still didn't know if one team was going to be in the league or not. And so, yeah, I mean, it sounds like fun. We should start following that league a little bit more.
Just side note, all the people in Girona that were affected by the bridge collapse, I hope, like, that everybody is okay. Is it Genoa?
Yeah, I don't think Girona's in La Liga.
Not La Liga, Serie A.
Serie A.
Yeah, Girona is a team in. Isn't Girona in?
Isn't the town that Genoa's in.
Okay, I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I could have sworn.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're both right. Well, no, you're right, and you're also right about that's definitely a team in Spain.
Yeah, Girona
It
is a team in Spain.
but I think
Okay, that's where I was getting
where Genoa is. That's
Oh,
where
okay.
the collapse happened.
Oh, okay, all right. But yes,
So,
anybody affected by that, obviously.
We're thinking of you.
Yes.
So hopefully everybody's okay. And I mean, not everybody's okay. It's really sad what happened, but we have everybody in our minds. So
Yes. Yeah.
hopefully everyone's all right. What are you laughing for over there?
It's the worst.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad.
I mean, I wasn't ready. I just thought about it, and so I wasn't ready
yes.
for it. And then
and we would also like to offer our apologies for that condolences.
Our condolences.
Yes. But getting back to this issue, Matt, do you have any thoughts on Napoli's president or whatever?
Oh, dear Lord.
Making comments.
Yeah, well, it's funny that like the last topic we talked about was an Italian team, suing Spain for like the defamation of their character, and then Inter Milan's out here saying these teams are doing illegal things, but it's like no,
Napoli,
Napoli, with like no facts to back this.
Yeah.
So like, why can't Roma and Liverpool sue them?
I guess they probably could, but is it worth their time and money? Yeah.
Everyone should just start suing.
Yeah, everybody sue everybody. Anything else to add, Chris?
I'm still thinking about that. That was really awful the way we did that.
Did we get a confirmation on what the name of the actual place is?
No, but I can get that. I'll get that for you in a little bit.
That's fine.
Napoli, yeah, they're a little bit crazy. I think their owner has had a history of like accusing other teams of doing this before, so it's a little bit.
It's his go-to move.
Yeah, he's just like, I didn't get my player. They must be evil. They must be up to some
Collusion.
shit. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I can't get on board with you, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, look. So what? Keep talking. I'll look it up.
I can't get on board with that. That's ridiculous that Liverpool and Roma are being accused of having the same ownership group in collusion, allowing teams to just send their players in between them. It's just ridiculous. I don't understand where he came up with this. It's not correct.
So wait, why would that be a problem? Because like how like City owns,
because then they both can't.
Genoa.
Yeah. Oh, it's Genoa.
Yeah, it's Genoa.
I don't know.
Okay.
Saw something else. Okay.
Yeah, so like City, how they own like Melbourne, Girona, NYC. So like, why don't they get in trouble for having like the same ownership?
Well, that's what I was talking about before. So City technically doesn't own Girona. They in La Liga. And so first off, ownership structures can have the same owners across leagues. I mean, Watford and speaking of Genoa, they're owned by the Pozzo family, I believe, right? You can have different ownership. What ends up, you can't have the same owner in the same competition.
Yeah,
that's the rule. So like you can't have the same owner in the same league, obviously, but you also can't have two teams in one competition. So in Europa League or Champions League, you can't have them go against each other because there's naturally a conflict of interest. So Watford, in all likelihood, and Genoa are not going to qualify for Europe at the same time. So it's not really a huge deal. With clubs like RB Leipzig or just all of the Red Bull ownerships or all the City ownerships, there is some sort of overlap there. And so you need to be careful with stuff like that. And so that's why Girona they have a relationship, but they're not technically owned.
Because I think it's the same thing with, Toulouse. Is that who City partnered with again this summer?
I don't know.
It was one of the French teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're now like have our foot in the door at the French team. And like I always wondered like how we got away with that.
Yeah, and Chelsea with Vitesse, I believe they have like a relationship. So you have these kind of mutually beneficial relationships. And so sometimes it is just straight up, hey, we need players, and it might be in Vitesse's best interest to get people from Chelsea who they couldn't otherwise be getting. And they're on their up, and then helps them balance their books, and it could be that. And then there are other situations where it is legitimately owned by another team. Okay. And then
So Liverpool and Roma would be fine if it was anything other than the same owner. Like they can have like relationships that are
Well, yeah.
So this is a very far-fetched claim.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Ending
that was good. Yeah, that was good. All right, Dave, anything else you want to add on this?
No, so we just touched on it really, really quickly there, but it was in Genoa. That was the name, or Genoa, however you pronounce it, was the name of the Italian city. And so we're obviously thinking of everybody there. So I just wanted to circle back and put the stamp on that. Anything else?
Thank you for doing that. Very well done. No, I don't have anything else. Matt, do you have anything else?
Nothing.
All right, so that'll wrap that up. Any listener questions this week, Dave?
No, because I just said about 5 minutes before we hit record is when I announced that we were doing an episode today. So no listener questions as of right now. If anyone's watching live on YouTube, you feel free. Now is the time to ask.
Yeah,
so,
obviously we're doing a great job today.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to really get that question for you.
Yeah, but before that, I'll give a couple quick plugs while you think of your question. FanFutsal, I'm the founder of a simplified fantasy soccer website, fanfutsal.com. We have all kinds of games and tournaments on there with the European leagues all starting back up. Bundesliga is the last one to start next week. We'll have all 5 major leagues and then 2 North American leagues. It's a simplified way to play fantasy soccer. You select 5 teams instead of 8 to 11 individual players. Scoring is simplified too, but we still have strategy and in our games by having different lineups and different positions and formations that you can set. In addition to FanFutsal, so please go check out fanfutsal.com. In addition to that, I have a YouTube channel called The Soccer Tavern on YouTube, obviously. And we make videos about the history, culture, and philosophy of the beautiful game. What's up, Christian?
What?
Yeah, thanks for doing that. We have videos about the history, culture, and philosophy of the beautiful game. With the Premier League starting back up, we have Premier League club history videos for all 20 teams in there. We have other videos too, the history of position numbers in soccer, the history of why it's called a nutmeg, and all kinds of fun videos and stuff like that. So please go check out the Soccer Tavern. Got a lot of different videos. We're going to be coming out with a Rabona video where the history of that term comes from soon. And so beyond that, we're going to just keep making videos. So go check out the Soccer Tavern. We have all of that linked in the video description. No questions, Christian. So back over to you.
All right. So trivia question this week. We'll come back to that. Hopefully everyone got their answer ready. Dave and Matt, you guys ready for this?
Yes.
All right. Harry Kane had a little bit of a dry spell in August in his career. Finally just scored his first goal in August yesterday. Do you know how many minutes he had played in August before his first goal?
1,011.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to just get some math. So quick maths. I'm gonna go how long has he been playing? How old is he? 24?
Yeah, 24.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Sure. 862.
Dave, you were very close. That was very impressive. 1,065 minutes.
Damn.
That is a lot of time, though. If you think about that,
yeah, it's a lot of time.
That's like 12 games worth of time.
Yeah, it was always a weird thing because he's such a great goal scorer, and it was such a weird coincidence that he never scored. So
I know, it was really fun though. August Kane was fun. It's like December Tony with Tony Romo in the NFL. You always could just count on them to flop in that time. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So anything else you want to plug before we wrap up here, Dave?
Well, yeah, all our social stuff, but you want to do that?
Just wondering. Sure. Yeah. So if you want to reach out to us, we're on Twitter at BT Soccer Pod. Dave and I are live tweeting pretty frequently. Dave more than me, but I mean, anytime you're on there, I am on there. I try and do my best, but I have another job outside of this, so it's pretty crazy. Another way you can reach out to us is at our email, which is bros.talking.soccer@gmail.com. You can go to our website. Matt, do you know our website?
Yes, it is brostalkingsoccerpodcast.com.
What can you do on there, Matt?
You can read about us, check out past episodes, and the store.
And store.
And with the Amazon.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Partner with Amazon. So buy something through our store and help us out.
Yes.
So the way you do that
through Amazon.
You go to our website at brostalkingsoccerpodcast.com. You go to the store, and there's a little Amazon button. You go there. You can buy anything you want on Amazon. No additional cost to you, but if you go through that, we get a little portion of any payment that you make on there, which would really help us out in just producing this podcast and keeping it going, which obviously you're so entertained by. So, yeah.
If you want more Christian's Corner, you gotta buy
Christian's
stuff.
Corner is here.
Yes.
I mean, he had a little bit of a rough one today, but
in the third
we
person.
all did. Finally, you can go to our YouTube channel at Bros Talking Soccer. It's the YouTube channel, as I said. And you can watch stuff like this.
Yeah, subscribe so you're notified when we go live and all that. So, yeah.
Yeah, how could you miss out on that? You can't.
I know I wouldn't want to miss out,
I know.
so you shouldn't either.
I mean, Matt misses out pretty frequently.
Yeah, Matt's checked out as soon as.
All right, ready? You guys done? Anything else you want to add before we close out here?
You done yet?
No. Thank everybody. Thank you all for being here. Anyone watching live on YouTube, thanks
I
for
was
being
gonna
here.
do that, but
Okay, well, I don't know
asking
what
if you
you're
had
doing.
anything else. You know, you
No.
do it. You do
No,
it.
no,
You do
I'm
it.
done.
You do it.
This is
Do
Christian's
it.
Corner. This
Matt,
is Christian's
wrap it up.
Corner.
All right. Thanks everyone for being here. We'll see you guys next week.
Was well done. All right. See everybody on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Route 1.
Route.
Wow, I had to think. I had to think about it. I wanted to say route. Route 1. Say about it.